Hello and welcome back to the city of Damascus in Cities Skylines. In the last episode, we've done all this area here for our hotels and commercial, but we are now seeing a few problems and they're mostly related to not enough goods to sell. One of the main reasons for that, if you pay attention for this, is that we have a lot less workers everywhere and not just on the commercial area. If we go to the industrial area as well, we will see this happening as well over here. Although most of the buildings are okay, but the bigger ones, they are all lacking people to work, except this one, interestingly enough, has a lot of people working in there. But looking at the population, we at the moment have 286,000 jobs available. So yes, we have kind of 50,000 jobs available based on people employed and jobs available. So we can bring in around 50,000 people. Obviously, being very simplistic, we have to take consideration education level, things like that. But as we bring new people into the city, they will get educated, they will go into the jobs that we have for them, and this will start to change. So this is something that we will do today, and I think we need to grow and keep bringing more citizens to our dear city in here. We have a few options for this. We definitely have this area or this area closer to the farm, what do we call it? Farm fields and the wood district. Although I want to change that because wood district is not a great name for this, but we'll take a look at that in a second. So we have this area, we do have roads placed in here as well, but I didn't want to put straight residential in here. I want this to get a little bit more stable and see if we can even add a little bit more in there as well. And other areas that we can and will definitely do this later is we need to finish all this area in here, and this is definitely a low density residential, and this will be definitely a high density. Maybe we migrate between low to high and then high density on this side, as we are very close to downtown as well. And we also have this area back here that we need to finalize. This is Central Park, and this is one of the latest areas that we've built as well. And we can certainly do a little bit more in there, and I do want to do it. So after we finish that, we can do a full first-person view of our tram line that goes through here all the way there to here and to the land over there as well. So that is really, really good. I saw one question, I think was Dimi that sent that, asking if the hotels had any impact on the airports. More often than not, I see 100% being used in the airport, which I didn't before. I was always seeing like around 50% use in that. But for now, I've been seeing quite a lot more of these being fully utilized. And just because I said that, it's 61%, but I swear, it's often at capacity. So I do think that the hotels are bringing a lot more tourists to the city, and this is bringing more income as well. If you look at the money that we get, especially from tourism. Yeah, there we go. We are up to 13%. I believe this was 80% before we added all the hotels, and we had even the hotels and retreats DLC. So especially as you can see in hotels is where we're bringing quite a lot of money in there, and then we have some more money from other things. So it's indeed bringing in money to the city. So I'm quite happy about that as well. But yeah, airport, as you can see, it's going up again. And we, as I mentioned, more often than not, we get up to 100% in there. So yes, that is an impact. But where we are building today would be on this area. I believe this would be kind of a transition between the high density on the commercial in there to the low density. I do want normal high density on this side, and on this side I'm thinking about using the Brooklyn and Queens building so we can do some sort of transition to a low density if we build anything else in this area that's empty at the moment. So those are the plans. I think we need people, and that's what the goal for today is. That's what I'm aiming for. I'll probably do some work around this area as well, make more connections through both sides so this doesn't become a bottleneck over here, and we create more options for everyone. Hopefully we'll see a lot less issues with not enough goods to sell, and I've seen here and there some issues with the industry as well, but overall is mostly a lack of people really to produce the goods or import them and all of that sort. A lot of stuff just moving stuff around the city that we are lacking at the moment. So let's build it, let's see how that goes, and we'll see what that ends up looking like, and then we also can make a little plan for what's coming next. And we are back, and this is a big growth in this area, and I'm quite happy with certain things that I've done here this time around, and I'll show you that. But one of the things that I want to tell you about is that we named this district as Mateo District. He asked me to name a district in one of the comments in previous videos and shorts, and I've done that. So Mateo, welcome to the city. You got a district. So if you have name suggestions for other districts, let me know, and I'll more than happy to take that into consideration and add that to the city. This park we call a bamboo park because of all the bamboo trees or bamboo forests that we have in here, and I've named it that way. I've also did a mix of buildings. So this is from the nature reserve, this is from the amusement park, this one as well. Then these are from the city, and the city park, I should say. And that is a bit of a mix, and I quite like it. I think it's looking good. I've went a little bit lighter on the trees. Oh, well, if you look at this, not really, but on the other sides, I did do that, and I think this looks quite good. So we have a transition, as I mentioned before. We go from the normal high density into the Brooklyn and Queens high density buildings, and then later on we will connect through here via the lower density. I might even start lower density very close to here, but I'll leave it over there. So in terms of districts, just so you have an idea how that's set up. So this is the Brooklyn and Queens, and we will expand that over here. And this is the airport park, which I just extended all the way over there. I've also done some residential on the other side of the highway as well, as demand for residential keeps growing, because as we're doing this, the commercial buildings and some industrial are also upgrading, and they are requiring more and more jobs, and we are still 40,000 jobs behind the curve in there. So we need quite a lot more residential and I just like, I can keep doing this for a long time. Look at this, we've added basically 8,500 in here, and well, we did have a little bit of residential in here, so I would say around 10,000 in here. Let's say 20,000 in total. We started, yeah, I think that's correct. We started at 487, 486, and we're now over 500,000 people in the city. How crazy is that? Few things in there. I've done these city keys around the highway, and I think this looks way better just with this detail in here. This is quite nice, and I'm a lot happier with this. I just feel like I should, I don't know if the elevation here is a little bit weird or if it's just the changing the lane in there. I think that's changing the lane there. That is looking a bit weird, but yeah, they're on the same level. So I've done that in there. I've done these in here as well for the train line. So we have trains going kind of underground in there. So this allows me to add a lot more bridges like I've done in here, crossing there, did a pedestrian only in here, another car bridge in there. So this makes or creates a lot more connections in the area and makes things a lot easier as well. Now, I've done high density or high capacity elementary school here and there, and did the same with the high school, one over here and the other one over there, hiding. And we are finally, high capacity high school is going down a little bit, but the elementary school is still quite heavy, so it's at capacity, almost at capacity in here. If you look at this, we are kind of in the red and in the yellow for high school, so there is still quite a lot of education that needs to go through this, but we're getting there. Other things that I've done in here, I've added, well, as you can see, more road connections, and this is the whole area. I've also added this road basically following the landscape in here, so we can put like some buildings around on this side, except in here. And this connects to this roundabout over here on the disabled cargo airport in there. And I think this is actually a good connection for the, what is that? Sure that we have some garbage collection in here. Yeah, we have the recycling in there only. I wonder, yeah, I might do another one. Just because this area is quite far from everything, I think that will help us, but that provides a way for them to get through here quite fast and without crossing everything, going to the highway, getting out of the highway, etc. So I don't think I've added anything else in here other than the bus depot, and I'll show you another thing about buses in a second, and this medium warehouse. So I think this is quite helpful in here, and I am looking just to see how that works. Also did this connection in there just to make sure that we don't rely just on this one and stop them crossing straight into that entrance. If they want to go there, they go here and then they get out. So I've also added this intercity bus station, which is quite popular, to be honest. If you look at this, as you can see, we have buses coming from there, and this is bringing a lot of people and reducing the car traffic in this area. We also have a new bus line in here that's attending this whole area in there, as we just have the metro station in here. What I was thinking, let me go into line, open this up and show you where the line goes. So as we have the metro station there, and this intercity bus station in here as well. I made this line to go through the airport park in there, come back and cross around this area over here. I could bring this a little bit further into this area, but I don't know, I think this, for now, this is good enough. We may change this slightly later on, maybe add a second line in there or something like that, but that seems to be working quite well. We also have, I think that's the one, right? Yeah, 271 passengers in here. And as you can see, this is busy. This is like 75 because there are a couple of stations that get quite busy. This one, that one, and there is another one that I believe is over here somewhere. But this is working quite nicely for us. In terms of working with the not enough goods to sell, it's actually been quite hard to do this. It's better. It's definitely better. And we have a steady flow. We got before some buildings being abandoned. That hasn't happened in a while. And we just have a few buildings now requesting that. As you can see, you have 1, 2, 3, and 4 over here. So what I've done, I've added this warehouse in there, and I set it up so they don't export and they just take goods into these districts, and we can see where they are offering the goods over there. But the problem is that sometimes the request goes outside of the city. Like as you can see, this is coming from really far away. It's actually coming from that factory in there. So it gets quite difficult when things like that happen. I don't know why they decide to use trucks, because we have trains are closer, we have train stations on both sides, and as you can see there, it's working and it's all connected, and they can go in the air. So I don't really know why they decide to do this, but they do decide to do that. So who knows? Who knows? And I might actually decide to do more of the warehouse in other areas that we see that we have quite a lot of traffic for that. Like here in the middle, we have some demand for that as well. I don't know if I will replace some of these offices, or I'll take a look at what we can do with that. We definitely would benefit, although we do have one in here. What I could do with this one is just say no exports and just within the district, and that's the industrial park. Hopefully this helps this area a little bit better. And maybe this one I'll do the same, no exports and just within this district, which is the industrial park. And these will take goods a little bit more focus in these neighborhoods. So we'll see what happens in there and how that goes. But the city is growing quite a lot. One of the next challenges is that we are now very close to the limit of the citizen distance, and these might be a problem when we hit it, because we won't get citizens actually going to work or visiting the city, spending money and things like that. So we'll start having problems with those things, but nothing much we can do. I think I could add a new mod to increase the number of citizens instance. I'll take a look at that, see if that's worthwhile doing it. If it is, I'll do it. If it's not, then I won't do it, and we'll work with that as best as we can. But yeah, this area has grown quite a lot, and everything is working really well. It's getting quite busy, but it's still 82% traffic. This is one area that I might actually add a roundabout in here as well, as there's a lot of cars and trucks that goes left and right, and that might help us a little bit. This other one over here is quite busy as well. It's a lot of trucks coming and going from this area, so I think that's the challenge in there, and that's why I've added this warehouse that would be slightly easier for us to do with this. But yeah, I think all takes time as we build more. I know that the traffic will change around as well and look slightly different, but I'm happy with these updates in here. I'm quite happy with how it looks as well. There are some little details here and there, like over here, just adding a few things in there, adding the trees at the back as well, not just the buildings and the keys. And there's a lot of smaller details like those. The park as well, a little bit different from what I usually do. And I think this looks good in my opinion. But let me know, what do you think? Let me know if you have any more suggestions. We do have a lot more space to build in here, and I definitely want to make good use of these connections. I might do better transition between the commercial, the hotel area into the residential. I think we might use that to add a lot more residential, as we need quite a lot more of that, and I think that will be worthwhile doing it. But yeah, again, let me know if you have any other ideas or if you want to see something special, and I'll work on that. For the next episode, I have two options: or we keep building in this area, which is very likely that I will do, or I'll build next to that area for that we have the tram, and also I want to work with some trolley buses as well. That might be something that we do, but we'll see. Things are happening, city is growing, and I'm quite happy. So I hope you are as well. And thanks a lot for all your comments, all your likes, for joining the Discord, keeping it a nice environment and very friendly and respectful over here in the comments as well. I really, really appreciate you all. And I'll see you in the next time. Bye bye.